What is happening, y'all? This is Gabe at Junction Auto Salon back with the next episode in our Dirt series, Detailing in Real Time, where I take you through various steps on various customer cars for detailing, paint corrections, and ceramic coatings. Today we are ceramic coating a Mustang. We are not going to go through the entire process on the entire car. What we are going to do is go over the coating of the hood. It is starting to get a little bit warmer. It is starting to get a little bit more humid. So I have to start paying more attention to this guy right here. And it says we are at 77 degrees and 48% humidity. 50% humidity because my hand is on the sensor, but I have to pay attention to that now, which means that when I'm ceramic coating, I use a little bit more coating and my sections get a little bit smaller. So we are going to split the hood into two sections while I'm coating it, instead of doing the entire hood when it was a little cooler and we had less humidity outside. Not a big deal, just takes a little bit of extra time to get these jobs done. We are using Gtechniq C1 crystal lacquer. For cars that see a lot of abuse, I find that this holds on a little bit better than some of the other coatings do. It's how I understand it, a heavier quartz coating. But it is very good, and then we'll put a top coat on it as well for the extra gloss and the extra hydrophobic. So at C1 we have our applicator. We have towel 1, towel 2, and towel 3. So this is the initial wipe, initial level. This is the second towel for leveling, and then this is the final to get any and all haze or high spots left over from what I just did. So let's get started. Hopefully this video is unedited and uncut, as I try to do for all of these videos in this series, so y'all can see just how long this actually takes. Now when you open up a bottle that's already been used before, you're going to run into, I don't know if y'all can really see that, but it is some crystallized ceramic coating that was in the cap, which is fine, but you need to get rid of that before you start, because you don't want to put any of that onto the applicator. And then just like all my other ceramic towels, this towel is now garbage because there is crystallized ceramic coating inside this towel. I know I throw away a lot of towels around here because some of them go through a process of outside, inside, wheels, tires, trash. But anything, no matter where it's at in the process, once it touches a ceramic coating, these 3 towels, as soon as I am done with them on this car, will absolutely go into the garbage because the ceramic coating will harden inside them, and I don't want to put any kind of crystallized anything on a car. I don't necessarily want to breathe it in either, but that's less of a worry for me because it is not an aerosol. It is a liquid. So, oh boy, let's get started before I start rambling on, and y'all know I will never shut the hell up. So first section here, we used the other side for another coating, so we're using the blue side today. We're gonna prime the pad, which means we add a little more than normal, and you can see some of that crystallized coating got onto this pad. That's exciting. Let's work without a little bit of drama. I don't see anything else in this applicator, so it looks like we're good to go. So we will start applying this to just the first half of the hood on this side, just on the passenger side, all the way down to the front bumper. Back up, you create your rivers so you can drag through. I learned the river trick from Evan Morris at Atlanta. I believe it's now Atlanta Film or Atlanta Ceramic and PPF. When I was at the G-Technic classes. So we're just being as even as we can, hit as many spots as you can. The river is there for a reason, because as you're dragging back over some of these spots, the applicator will start to dry out and you may not get as much coverage. So you want the river there to hold a little bit of extra coating, so that when you drag the applicator through it, you're picking up some extra coating to continue moving on whatever panel that you're working on. And then there's an argument for how you apply, like the direction you apply the ceramic in. You can get super technical about it. I'm just trying to get the stuff onto the car itself. But if you want to know what the argument is, it is you're training the ceramic the way you want the water to move on the car. So you do as much as you can on the hood. You want the water to move up and off or down and off. So you take that and you do as many as even as a coat as you can. Did I do these? I don't remember. You do as even as a coat as you can, going this way instead of going back that way. That way, again, you're training the water on the ceramic coating. I don't know that it necessarily works that way, but it's still how I apply stuff to hoods and roofs and stuff like that anyways. So, I mean, that's the argument. It is what it is. I see a spot that I may or may not have missed. So just checking on this side here. So you got to give it a little bit of flash time, even though it's warm, and you can technically put this onto the paint and start wiping it off immediately. I don't like to do that unless it is really humid in here, and at that point we're running. Meters running, clock's running. It's time to go. I want this to bond as much as possible to the paint, so that the customer gets max value out of his coating and max durability. If y'all have followed along with the rest of this car series, you will know that this is a car that's got 80,000 miles on it as of the video. This video could be a few months old, the way that they're scheduling out now. But he takes it to the track every once in a while. It sees quite a bit of abuse. Got 80,000 miles on it. You know, it's a Mustang. He does Mustang things with it, and it gets kind of beat up. That's fine. That's his car. That's what he chooses to do with it. So, but he is a good customer. I see his cars about once a year, and everything is terrible whenever he brings them to me, but you know, that's why I do what I do. I gotta do the work, man. You gotta figure out what's going on with your customers' cars. And also he does his best to send me business as well. So I want to make sure that his car is taken care of as best as I can. Well, I do that for anybody, but you know, y'all know what I'm saying here, right? Right. Shut up. So we take the third towel, kind of dig into some of the corners and some of the smaller spaces, nooks and crannies and stuff. That way we're pulling out and leveling as much of that coating as we can, so we minimize any threat of high spots. That sounds weird to say it that way. Sounds weird, but I'll allow it. Yeah, that's a Marvel movie line. So what, you want to fight about it? Alright, so we've done panel number 1. I'm huffing and puffing like a fat kid. I am a fat kid. Whatever. So we're going to put, oops, a little too much there. put some more coating onto the applicator, and basically repeat the process on this side of the hood and on this top section of the front bumper. So we create our rivers across, and then we go just up and down. Be even. You don't have to rush through this. Well, you don't have to rush through this as long as it's not terribly hot. You may have to move a little bit quicker as the summer progresses, but I will show y'all how to cross that bridge when we get there. You know, I'm just a monkey that enjoys taking care of the finish on people's cars. I've been like this for 20 plus years. I enjoy having a clean car. I do not want to have a dirty car for any reason at all. I understand that it's not always going to be that way, but I do wash my own car about once a week. I take care of it as best as I can, or at least my daily driver. That thing is broken a lot. It's a Mustang. They tend to break. So again, we are giving that just a little bit of flash time. You will notice that it kind of rainbows over a little bit. It's harder to tell in the blue paint. It's easier to tell whenever you have a darker colored car as it starts to rainbow over. But it's Gtechniq C1. Technically you can apply it and you can remove it immediately and everything's fine. I just like that little bit of extra insurance, that little bit of less anxiety with a coating, just to leave it on there for what I think is right at too long, before it starts to be almost impossible to remove. But just before that is when I'll start to take it off and level it out, and everything is golden. So just a general technique whenever you're wiping this out is you're moving from the outside in. You don't want to push the ceramic coating around as little as possible, I guess. You want to push it around, but you're working from the outside of your section in. So one thing to remember when you are wiping off a ceramic coating, or basically anything really, is something you may not realize, is that every time when you're doing this, every time you stop here to go back the other direction, you're creating a high spot right there. That's part of the reason why we use multiple towels to do this, so we lessen or remove those high spots. But high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot, high spot. And if you think of it like that, you're really not going to have much issue with high spots if you're coating your car. But I don't have much issue anymore with high spots. I do every once in a while, but I also know how to solve the problem. The thing that's really fun is whenever you find one and the coating's already been curing for 12 to 24 hours, and then you got to figure out exactly what you're supposed to do and still maintain the coating that's on the damn car. So again, we're working from the outside in with the third towel, and then coming across the paint surface itself. And then this one we're going to spend the time in the tinier spaces, so you can minimize and remove those possible high spots in the nooks and crannies on the body lines on this one. And that's it. And then as a final look over, you can take this towel. So like when the car is done, and here I find one just a perfect example to show you. I already see it. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but Like when the entire car is done, once I'm finished, I take this towel and I go over the entire car. I look at it in different lights. I look at it direct light. I look at it diffuse light. I look at it many different ways. I go over some of these body lines that I tend to struggle with whenever I'm coating. I go over the underside of door handles again, around the gas door. But you're basically looking for stuff like that. Now I don't know how well y'all can see that, but that is a high spot leftover coating, something that has not been leveled properly just yet. So can y'all see that? I don't know what's a good angle to show y'all this from, but you know, it is what it is, and that's the kind of stuff that I am looking for when the entire car is done. But since we're only doing the hood in this video, I can show y'all in the hood. And that means that every single time I wipe this car off, I miss that one section. Every towel, I miss that. And that's just, that'll just bake your noodle if you think about it for too long, so I try not to. But those are the ins and outs of coating as it gets warmer around here. We will of course go over this on many different cars, many different temperatures, many different struggles, different coatings. I will hopefully be able to show all of that to y'all at some point in the future. So I'm going to get the rest of this car coated. Y'all make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, or I will drive to your house and hold you down and tickle the absolute shit out of you. But I will bring cookies. And that's it. Junction Auto out.